in different part of the world. Then if you take a look on, we try to actually see how these relationships works at a local scale. Especially we are working on a project on social and environmental impacts of COVID-19 pandemic in Vietnamese provinces bordering China and Laos. And we try to see how the current crisis has shaped the relationships between the vulnerable communities and the natural environment, and is funding from the UKRI, the GCRF Newton Fund, through the EPSRC. And we're working on currently in Vietnam, we're trying to conceptualize the how the COVID has impacted to the vulnerable communities, and what kind of the government support they needed or they have received, and how it has changed the relationships between the social and ecological system. And while we're doing that, we're trying to map this, how the different, the COVID-19 has impacted in terms of the number of cases, the border closure, because when the border closes in China, Laos, and Vietnam, the workers from Vietnam can't go to work on China and Laos. And the returned workers, they're creating, the increasing pressures in terms of the labor availability, where they don't have their whole jobs. So sometimes they have an unemployment, or they try to do some natural resource exploitations, which is increasing, again, land use change, reducing the biodiversity. And again, you have to walk through the natural resource management policy. In terms of the social part, due to the unemployment loss, household income is also creating conflict in community. The social issues like due to the depressions, it's causing also the internal migrations, the discriminations in different part of the Vietnam provinces. So currently we are trying to work or model this one, and the similar model that we work on Bangladesh Delta. So we are employing a model and see what are because of the changes of different drivers, how the social ecological system will be interacting, and then how it can drive towards societal collapse, if it is. Like, what about if there's more changes in the land use pattern? What about if there's a changes in the local policy, of there is a more restrictions coming due to the COVID-19, and how it will be impacting on the social system, how it may increase the conflict in household life, or the damage in the income and employment. That part is coming from that what I was telling, that we are coming from a system thinking perspective, how possibly now understand how the system works and how the different variables are interacting together. And because of the changes in a simple subsidy, it can substantially increase or decrease the crop yields and household income, and that can reduce poverty. So we need to think, when you're saying, okay, we need to reduce the subsidy by 2023 or 2030, we need to think what kind of impact could be in future, in short and long term, because if you're changing in one variable due to the interacting effect of social ecological system, it can actually have a drastic change in both in short term and long term. So we need to think from a system perspective, and we need to, when you are thinking about food insecurity, it's just not about the goal, it's just not about the policies, it's about the whole system that we are in, and we need to think in a very sensitive way that how we can enhance the resilience. And when you're talking about enhancing the resilience, we need to think from a social and ecological system resilience. I'm finishing within 1 minute.
It's now.
Yeah. So that, what I was talking about, that feature research, should take about the social ecological system resilience. And then we need to think, and we need to set the goal that is ambitious but realistic, that really we can achieve. And we need to consider the different shocks when you are setting the goal. For example, if you still look at the regional or local level evidence, we are unlikely can achieve the SDG goal by 2030 of zero hunger goal within this very short period of time. We also have a conceptual crisis, or the framework crisis of social ecological system, because how it can be applied at using the real world situation, that not only have to overcome the challenges of the data unavailability, but also how we can model that social ecological, that complex interactions, the feedbacks, the non-linearity that I was giving an example, because that actually define their social ecological resilience, both in short term and long term. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to go through now, or please drop me an email. I've just copied my email address. You can also reach me through Twitter if you have any questions. I'm happy for following through any of the discussions in terms of the social ecological system and food insecurity. Thank you very much. Hello. I can't hear any of you. Hello. You are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but again, the same situation.
Okay.
It's muted.
Okay, colleagues.
So I suggest that because it's already 10 o'clock, let us take a 15-minute break. So let us just have some coffee and tea and come back here. 10. Thank you very much.
From that time. Yeah. Let's do this. Testing. Yes, no notification. Thanks.
Doctor. Dr. Sawa?
Hello.
Dr. Sawa?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear us.
Yes.
Okay. He can hear us, but I can't hear him. So let me just a second.
Yeah.
Dr. Sawa?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, still can't hear him. Speaker, no, it's fine. We're on the check. Dr. Sawa?
Yes.
Did he not mute on his side?
Sorry?
Did he not mute it on his side?
No, he's not muted.
Did he not muted? Oh,
He's
yeah.
not muted. Let's do this. So the output is blackjack. I'm good. So everything is fine. I need to get the sound from here.
Oh, this is power.
I mean,
This is
okay, let me try to
HDMI.
play something.
Which is have it through HDMI.
You can see the sound.
Yes, the way the problem is someone is outside. No, for someone who's here. And can hear you. Yeah, so, this one is
Hold on, do it again. Just keep counting 10.
There is a bit of an echo.
Yeah, that one said counting 10.
They are saying we are live.
Can you ask?
It looks like so deep.
We need to have telling us if we have things on the microphones. Can you get someone on Zoom or you can get a laptop?
Why did you?
A laptop that is outside.
I'll check up.
It's just that I'm thinking a laptop and getting. But it's easier than asking somebody to on the phone.
Dude, I got Zoom. What do you want me to do? I've got Zoom here. Join meeting.
Meeting,
Meeting lady.
okay.
Go for it.
Yes, yeah, it's fine. It's sorted now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they can hear us. That's up. I need to hear, sorry. Pick up the sound from here.
Nyaniv, yebo.
Ayanda, can you hear us perfectly?
Ngaya but ayikho lento entwini nizayo. Happy. Uzwa kanjani wena on your side?
Yeah, but I can hear them.
Can you count from 1 to 10?
Yebo.
Can you count from 1 to 10?
Mina.
Yeah, I think you're too soft. You're getting it from.
Ibale.
Can you count from 1 to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, no, you're too soft.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, it's fine. This is what I was saying, that the sound here. You see, this is what I was saying, that we should be picking up black magic here, so that the output goes straight to the end. Because right now it's only using the speaker, not the output of the black magic.
Using from this output to there.
Exactly.
And you want it
Yabo
to
njengamanje
go to there.
ukhuluma nje innocent right.
Yeah, because we're just closer to this.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, no, we can getting it from these speakers.
Ayanda?
Yeah. Yebo.
That I'm-
Innocent.